What is up, Scorpio? How y'all doing? Time for your August 2025 main monthly reading. August 2025. Man, that doesn't even sound right, does it? All right. So, for those of you who need a personal reading, you can go straight to my website, tarotwithrich.com, or you can check the description. There's a link right down in the description. The course that I have available for the month of August is Manifesting Financial Abundance. I personally believe that's the most valuable course in my whole school, and it has nothing to do with money. It has a real special little Easter egg in there. Mainly for those of you who have been trying to manifest for years and you can't figure out how to get it to work. In that course, I break down and I explain the science and the quantum physics behind how the manifestation process works. It's not something that you're required to know, but that's mainly for the people who have jumped off of the manifestation bandwagon. Have you noticed that bandwagon's empty now? Everybody jumped off. You know why? Because most people can't figure it out. And there's a reason why most people can't figure it out. It's because most people aren't teaching it right. So, the link for that's in the description. September 1st, it goes bye-bye. All right. Let's see what we can tell Scorpio about. Let's see, what am I starting these off on again? I done forgot. Oh, yeah. Your love interest. Single Scorpios and the person you're interested in. What's happening in August? Anything good? Anything bad? Anything at all? Scorpio, King of Swords. Is this person just not showing you any emotion at all? Or maybe for some of you, they just flipped a switch one day and they're just going cold on you. Let's get 3 shuffles. There's 1, 2, and 3. Empress reversed. Yeah, this just doesn't really look like you're finding stable footing. Doesn't look like it. Hangman. Hangman is one of the least action-packed cards in the whole tarot. Now we got this 3 of Swords here. So, you may be alleging, and I say that because the first spread is just an overview from your perspective. You may be alleging or suspicious of a third party. Possibly. I'm not here to say that there is or there isn't yet. We'll look at that in a minute. But I'm thinking you're kind of starting to really suspect that maybe there's somebody else involved. I don't know if you heard something through the grapevine or if maybe you saw a little something on social media that's a little suggestible, a little questionable. Yeah. But it doesn't really look like there's a lot of forward movement happening here. And if anything, it's just starting to weigh on you. Communication looks terrible. All right, well, why is it there's always, most of the time, it's always a message, something like that, when I read the singles in your love interest. Why is that? About 80% of the time, that's the message that comes through, no matter what the sign is. All right, well, let's look at the good shit, man. Let's see their truest, deepest feelings, energies, and intentions. How do they feel about you? How do they see you? They don't know what they want. I don't know about you, but the way I see it, if you don't know if you want me, that means you don't want me. That's the way I see it. I don't know. I'm going to try to steer around it. Ah, the codependency card. I can't steer around it. I can't steer around it. I've told, you're like the 5th sign I've had to tell this to this month. Whenever I read either a new connection or a potential new connection, what comes through? Every time. The past. The past. So, you know what this looks like to me? This looks to me like a lonely, empty person who's having a hard time moving on from the past and looking for a sex-based connection. That's what it looks like to me. Yeah. Empress reversed. I don't even think they're trying to settle down for real, for real. I don't think so. When it all comes down to it, I think they're so, on a conscious level, consciously, I just think they're really confused and don't know what the fuck they want. On a deeper, less conscious and unconscious level, I think this person's very, very broken. They can't stand being alone. They just want someone to make them feel better about themselves, you know? And when you're walking in that energy, if you've ever been there, anybody will do, right? Anybody will do. Okay, some of you dealing with a Taurus. Also got Capricorn, Libra, Pisces, Aries. Could be anybody. Those are just energies. Well, time to grab that advice. What's the advice for Scorpio? Do, 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 do. Oh, Queen of Swords. Let me think of how to say this without being cliche as fuck. Okay, so you know how I know I've said this to you before. I know I've told you this. Let people do what they want, and they'll show you what they want. That's another way of saying actions speak louder than words. In a situation like this, though, depending on the nature of your situation, maybe you could have a conversation expressing your concerns. Have you let this person know that you're kind of having a hard time reading them? Have you let them know that? Again, depending on your situation. I don't know if y'all are just kind of talking a little bit, or if you've been like talking without making it official for like 2 months. Most of the time when people come to me for a personal reading, that's usually along the lines of what it is. Usually it's like, we've been talking for a month and a half, but nothing's been made official. And they're hot and cold and sending me mixed signals. About 80% of the time, that's usually what I hear in my personal readings with your love interest. So that's kind of the intention that I put into it when I read these here. Is that it's like, it's no secret. We're at least talking. We're at least flirting. You know, some of y'all may even be hanging out, dating, and fucking. At some point, when it gets to that place, and if you let it go far enough, it will get to that point where it's like awkward, where the tension is so thick you can cut it with a knife. It's like, where are we going with this? You know, where's this going? Once it gets to that point, you got some decisions to make. Either A, we got to initiate the what are we conversation. B, you cut on out of here and just say, fuck this, I'm done. Or you wait. And if you wait, you know what's going to happen? The tension's going to blow. It's going to blow. So, yeah. Depending on the nature of your situation, apply what advice is needed. So, okay, let's shift gears now. That was heavy. Let me get some sage in the air. I'm not even halfway done with my work tonight, and the energy's already so heavy in my office now. All right. Okie dokie. Let's see what's going on. Let's see what's due to come in next for the singles. Who's the next soul contract that the universe is bringing into your life? Bam, King of Cups. I'm going to tell you one thing about your next soul contract. You ain't going to be confused about how that person feels about you. You're going to know immediately. This person will make their feelings for you very abundantly known. As they should. And see, here's the thing too. When you form a genuine connection with somebody, a genuine connection, they don't have to tell you. And if the connection's deep enough, they don't even have to go out of their way to show you. I'm not saying they won't. I'm just saying they don't have to. You'll feel it. When there's true energetic transparency, you'll feel it. But the next person that you connect with, I think it's probably going to catch both of you off guard. Going to catch both of you off guard a little bit. You ain't going to be expecting it, and they ain't going to be expecting it. And it could cause a little bit of fear and nervousness. And if you're not in the right headspace or in the right heart space, or neither are they, it could trigger some defenses. Yeah. I do think that the next soul contract due to come in, though, is a long-term contract. I just think that it's going to be so unexpected, so random. You know? Unexpected, random, at the craziest, most unexpected, random way, and the most crazy place at the most crazy time. It's going to catch both of you off guard, and it's going to be a little bit scary. And there could in the very beginning be some headbutting going on a little bit, you know? But once y'all work through that energy, there's a lot of potential. There's a whole lot of potential here. Yeah. It's going to be the start of a whole new cycle. A whole new cycle. All right. Well, let's see their feelings, energies, and intentions. What's their energy look like in general? What kind of person are they? Ace of Swords. It could be an air sign for some of you. Yeah, well, they definitely have some inner battles that they're fighting. 100%. I think deep down, at the deepest level, they really want to find the fucking partner of their dreams and jump in head first, you know? But I think they've made that mistake so many times in the past. And, you know, I mean, most of us, hey, by the time we end up here at the tarot table, most of us have made that mistake a few times, right? And if you don't know how to release that and heal from it and deal with it, some inner tension and conflict can start building up, right? Doesn't make you a bad person. Doesn't make them a bad person. I think their intentions are solid. They got some shit they got to deal with still, but their intentions are solid. They're not playing games. They're not playing games. And yeah, I think the connection's gonna scare them a little bit. Well, it's not the connection that scares them. What scares them is somebody else having that much power over their emotions. You know? I'm scared of there being another human on this planet who, if you just woke up in a funny mood one day, it'd be as simple as you flipping a switch and you could completely destroy me. I don't want any fucking body having that kind of power over me. You know? So that's kind of more along the lines of where they're at. Very guarded. Okay. Looks solid though. They're not playing games. They are not playing games. And honestly though, I think it won't take too long before that's abundantly clear. You know, you want to know one of the quickest ways to find out that somebody's not playing games? There's a few ways, but when you meet somebody who's not afraid of being alone, even if they would rather not be alone, somebody who would rather be alone than be in a toxic relationship, somebody who will quickly and easily just walk out the fuck. I ain't dealing with drama. Nope. Nope. If all you're bringing to the table is drama, insecurities, accusing me of shit, fuck that. I'm done. I'm not doing that. Nope. I'm not doing that. I ain't doing that. I will walk the fuck out that door. I'm not playing games. I'm so sick of playing games. I'll be alone for the rest of my fucking life. I know that sounds daunting to describe it, but when you meet somebody like that, it's like, finally, somebody who's not wasting my time. Now, that doesn't mean their actions are going to be perfect. That means their intentions are pure. I'm not a perfect human being, but I'll tell you one thing, I'm not here to waste your fucking time. I'm not here playing games with you. I'm loyal. I want honesty, loyalty, and commitment, or fucking nothing, you know? And it's a breath of fresh air when you're actually standing with that energy. Man, with the fucking game players there are out there in the world today, man, that's can be hard to come by sometimes. Let's see. Let's just get the advice, because the Ten of Cups came out in the first spread. I think this will be long term. Let's just grab the advice. What's the advice? Advice for Scorpio. Queen of Cups, though. Okay, check this out. One of the leading causes of relationships starting to go downhill is when we approach a connection on a lack vibration. Well, when we approach anything on a lack vibration. So how do most people approach relationships on a lack vibration? From the perspective of need. We need, as humans, if there's anything we do need, it's to stop needing other people. This doesn't mean relationships and connections are not important. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is we have got to stop needing other people. We have to. We have to. Need is a vibration of lack. You hear it all the time. I need someone to talk to. I need someone to keep me company. I need someone to meet my emotional needs. Need. You're never going to lay a foundation, a solid foundation, with anyone on a lack need vibration. And again, that doesn't mean that connections aren't important. That doesn't mean relationships aren't important. And that doesn't mean that you don't do everything you can to support your partner emotionally. It's not what it means. What it means is if somebody believes that their emotional state is somebody else's responsibility, that relationship is going to go absolutely fucking nowhere. If somebody believes that it's your job to create their happiness for them, it's your job to make them feel the way they want to feel, it's your responsibility to make sure they feel good about themselves, that's your job, your job. Their self-esteem is your job. Their happiness is your job. Somebody believes that, nothing you do will ever be good enough. Ever. 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 You'll always be the bad guy. Everything will always be your fault. And nothing you do will ever be good enough. When we can get out of this lack vibration, then we start operating on a frequency of, I don't need anyone. I choose you. I choose you because I see the potential. Me and you could come together and build a fucking empire. We could move mountains together. My happiness is my responsibility. I cherish the fact that I have you with me to help support me emotionally. That's a privilege. It's a privilege, and I'm thankful for it. But it's not your responsibility. My happiness, my vibe, that's my job. Your happiness is your job. I will absolutely do everything I can to support you emotionally, 100%. But I'm not going to bend over and break my fucking back trying to create your happiness for you, because I can't. And you got me fucked up if you think I'm going to try. I'll do everything I can for you. I'll be a shoulder to lean on, a voice of encouragement, a voice of reason. I'll do everything I can to lift you up. But no matter what I do, that's only going to contribute to maybe 5 to 10% of your happiness. If you're not trying to partake in your own happiness, nothing I do will ever be good enough. So when two abundant people come together, the primary law is the law of vibration. The secondary law is the law of attraction. Two people come together on a vibration of abundance from within. That's where abundance manifests outside of you. That's where you get to experience what a real connection's like. A real connection. You'll get to see what a real connection, building a real empire, is all about. When we stop needing other people and trying to leech off of each other and vampirically suck love from each other. Love is a vibration. Vibration is the primary law. A relationship or a partner is something that you attract. Attraction is the secondary law. You don't get the secondary law first and then the primary law as a byproduct. That's fucking backwards. The secondary law does not create the primary law. See what I'm saying? I think you all are going to be very surprised at how this turns out. I think so. This is going to be a dynamic unlike anything you've seen or anything you even thought possible. All right. Now, let's take a look and see what's going on with the good old past person. If you are not a Scorpio who is here inquiring about a past person, this is not for you. How are things looking between Scorpio and the person from the past? All right, well, 4 of Wands. So the metaphorical door is hanging wide open. Hanging wide open for somebody to come take action. It's hanging wide open, but hang on. It doesn't. So far, it doesn't really look like any action's being taken. 7 of Cups. Yeah. No, I mean, I don't know about you, but I mean, I think the person you're dealing with is out there scrambling and scraping, trying to find somebody new. Not allowed to spy on the details of their life. Have they found someone new? I don't know, maybe. But that's their number 1 priority. I think they've been contemplating it. But I think mainly their number 1 goal is to try to find somebody new. And in their little fantasy fairy tale world that they're in, ideally, I'm going to find somebody new that's going to get you off my mind. And then I'm just going to go ahead and build happily ever after so that I can forget about you. And that's, in their little fantasy fairy tale world, that's how they think it's going to work. I got news for them, and that ain't fucking happening. That ain't going to happen. But, yeah, the proverbial door is hanging wide open. I don't think either of you are taking action. Honestly, it kind of feels like both of you are contemplating it. Kind of feels like both of you are contemplating it. But there's just a bunch of sitting around waiting. Are y'all mirroring each other? Did I have some mirroring action going on here? Oh, that was the last spread, wasn't it? All right. Well, let me see how they feel about you at the deepest level. How does this person feel about Scorpio at the deepest level, universe? Page of Cups reverse. They don't want to be the one to make the love offer. They got feelings for you. Yep, they show the fuck does, but they want to get over this, is what they want to do. They do keep an eye on you. And I think they put on a show for you too. So most of the time when somebody's stalking you, if they're taking the time to stalk you, they're probably thinking or at least hoping that you're stalking them too. And so they're going to make sure that just in case you're stalking them, they're putting on a good old show for you. They're going to make sure of it. Hopefully you're not, right? Hopefully you're not. They do feel a real strong karmic tie here. Okay, we're going in circles now. All right. Okay, well, let's just get the advice here. Just looking at that energy, I'll tell you my personal advice. Now, this may not be what the tarot says. The tarot could give you different advice, but my thing is, what I would do is I wouldn't even pay attention to anything that they're doing if I was you. Don't do that. Don't even give them your focus or your attention. It doesn't matter what they know. I remember I had a client one time on a Zoom call who was dating somebody that had like a podcast or something like that. And they broke up like a year ago. And she was like, he keeps talking about me. You know, I'm like, okay, so does he say your name? No. But he keeps talking about me. He keeps making these little indirect references about me and towards me and talking about me and this and that. Well, quit fucking watching it. But he doesn't know. I don't care what he knows. What difference does that make? He's doing it for one reason and one reason only. To dig at you. He's trying to dig under your skin. And as long as you're paying attention to it, it's working. He's winning. Even if he doesn't know he's winning, he's winning. Take control of your focus. Your superpower is what you focus on and what you pay attention to. You have to have the ability to tell yourself, I'm not focusing on that. That's your superpower. You know, most of you out there have no control of your own focus. No control of your own focus. Scrolling social media, soon as something happens that triggers your emotions, you latch onto it. Because that's what it's programmed to do. Something that pisses you off, you grab right onto it. You know? You have no control of your own focus. You haven't mastered your life until you master the ability to say, I'm not looking at that. That's trying to suck me in. I'm not going to let it. I'm not looking at that. Scroll, unfollow, block, do not recommend. Anything that lowers my vibration, pisses me off, scares me, makes me nervous. Anything that's designed to elicit that kind of response inside of me, do not recommend, block, unfollow, unfriend. Very simple. I wouldn't pay attention to what this person's doing if I was you. That's just me, though. Let's see what advice comes out. What's the advice? Three shuffles. 1, 2, and 3. I love it. Look at that card right there. Look at that card right there. You see what she's doing? She's completely ignoring that cup that's trying to get her attention. She's ignoring it. If they want to talk to you like a grown fucking adult, let them come to you. Even at that, if I was you, I wouldn't even give them that kind of satisfaction. But if you were, you need to be the one in control. And you know, when somebody does things to try to trigger a reaction out of you, and you let them, you're teaching them how to manipulate you. If you see them view your Instagram story, don't respond to that. Don't do that. If you see them hit like on your post, don't react or respond to that. If you see them go to a 6-month-old comment thread that you and 5 other people are tagged in, and they say something to somebody else that has nothing to do with any fucking thing going on right now, just so you'll see their name pop up, don't respond to that shit. Don't do that. Don't give them one shred of acknowledgement. Unless they want to come talk to you like a fucking adult. Because that's what manipulators do. That's what they do. They get their way by pushing your buttons in a very covert, clandestine way sometimes. But regardless, whether it's covert or overt, they get their way by pushing your buttons. They get control of you by pushing your buttons. And you know how you prevent them from doing that? Don't even pay attention to them. Don't even look at what they got going on. Maybe they'll eventually end up getting the point. Eventually it's going to sink in. I have no fucking power over you at all. Damn. And once that clicks and once that sinks in, maybe, just maybe, they'll surrender, put their ego aside and come forward. And then you can decide, do I really want to fucking talk to you? You have to, again, this shouldn't even be a factor. Who's in control and who has the power shouldn't even be a factor. I'm not saying that should be a factor. I'm saying that when you're dealing with somebody who's approaching the situation like that, it is a factor whether you want it to be or not. And if somebody makes it a factor, then that's when you do what you can to make sure that you have the upper hand. And I'm going to tell you what right goddamn now. Nothing pisses off a toxic person more than being ignored. Nothing digs up under a manipulator's skin more than somebody who can't be manipulated, who can't be triggered. That's what's going to dig up under their skin and keep them up at night. When they see that they have no power over you. You know why? That's going to make them feel like they're this fucking tall. It's going to dig up under their skin. And hopefully it'll humble them. Hopefully. But if it doesn't, and you put your foot down and you keep it down long enough, then they'll just explode and make a fool out of themselves and expose themselves. Walk in truth. Walk in integrity. As long as you know your intentions are pure. It doesn't matter what anybody else fucking thinks. Fuck what anybody else thinks. As long as you know your intentions are pure. And the universe knows your intentions are pure. That's all that matters. It's all that matters. You'll win in the end. I promise you that. All right. I feel like those were the messages that my Scorpio family needed to hear. So I'm going to go ahead and end this video here. Thanks again for tuning in and playing along. Don't forget, the information for personal readings is all down there in the description. All right? I'm out of here now, y'all. I will see you sometime between now and the rest of all eternity. Stay blessed.